Good morning and welcome to the Daily Light Devotion. I hope all of you have had a wonderful weekend and looking forward to this week, the Christmas week, which starts today on the 22nd of December, right? Today, in the Encountering the Savior series, we're entering John 19. Uh, and we're going to see the crucifixion of Jesus in this week. And it was not by design, but I think so on Christmas Day, we are going to be looking at the complete finished works of the Christ. So that's wonderful. And, it's God's plan, I guess. We had the right day on the 25th where Jesus, they assume he was born, but we celebrate Jesus' birth as it is because we know that's the truth, right? Now, whether you agree with it or not, that's another thing. But we need to celebrate Jesus' birth every day. So every day is Christmas for us. But it's a great occasion to tell the world, right? And that, the Savior came for each one of them. So today we're going to look at John chapter 19, verses 1 to 4. It says, "Behold the man." That's the title. After the crowd chose Barabbas, Pilate still tries to avoid crucifying Jesus. Instead of releasing him, Pilate orders Jesus to be scourged, mocked, and humiliated. Pilate believes that if people see Jesus beaten, broken, the anger will be satisfied. But what unfolds is more political compromise. It's a powerful revelation of Christ's suffering love. Right. In these verses, we see the brutal injustice, silent submission, mocking cruelty, and fulfillment of prophecy. Most importantly, we see Jesus willing to endure pain over redemption. Right. Um, verse 1 says, "So when Pilate took Jesus and scored him." So Roman scoring was one of the most cruel punishments imaginable. It involved a whip with leather straps, sharp boar fragments, piece of metal. So each strike tore into flesh, often exposing bones. Pilate orders the punishment not because Jesus is guilty, but because Pilate hopes pain will replace crucifixion. Jesus did not resist. Jesus did not protest. Jesus did not defend himself. Jesus was willingly ready to suffer. No one forced him to the cross. Our salvation cost real pain, real blood, and real sacrifice. Verse 2 to 3. And the soldiers twisted a crown of thorns and put it in his head, and they put on him a purple robe. Then they said, "Hail, the King of the Jews." They struck him with their hands. The soldiers mocked Jesus' kingship. Each act was filled with irony. The crown of thorns symbol of curse, Genesis 3. Purple robe, mock of royalty. False worship, sarcastic praise. And striking his face, humiliation and abuse. So they thought they were mocking a pretender, right? But the truth was they were humiliating the true King of Kings, right? And I'm sure if those guys had not received Jesus, they know now who Jesus is. He's the King of Kings, right? Uh, in that century, these Roman soldiers, and I hope they receive Jesus because otherwise they will be in eternal separation. Unknowingly, they fulfill the prophecy. He was despised and rejected by men. Isaiah 53 5. Sorry, 3. Jesus wore the crown of thorns so we could wear the crown of life. And the curse of sin was placed on his hands so grace could rest in us. So Pilate then went on, verse 4 says, again, and said to them, "Behold, I am bringing him out to you, that you may know that I find no fault in him." So Pilate publicly declares Jesus innocent finally. This is now the second time Pilate affirms, "I find no fault." Yet, even knowing the truth, Pilate still allows injustice to continue. Pilate knows Jesus is innocent, but fears the crowd is stronger than courage. And knowing the truth about Jesus, but refusing to act according to leads to condemnation. Delayed obedience is moral compromise, which leads to walking lack of faith, and whatever is not of faith is sin. So basically it produces sin, right? What do we need to remember? Remember the cost of our salvation. Jesus was scorned for us, right? Do not mock Christ with his words while denying him with his. So we do not mock Christ, right, with words and denying him with our actions. We recognize that Jesus endured the same so we could receive honor, right? We need to refuse. We cannot. We need to choose truth over popularity and not be like Pilate. You know, and refuse to be like Pilate. We need to stand boldly for Christ even when it cost everything, and worship Jesus not as a mocked king, but a reigning Lord. So I want to encourage each one of you. Every wound of Jesus' body was for us. Every scorning we deserved, he accepted. Every mockery was meant for us as sinners, he endured. And the crown of thorns meant for the fallen world that we belonged to earlier, he wore more willingly. Though beaten and bleeding, Jesus still stands before the world in quiet majesty. Pilate said, I find no fault. He was innocent, yet punished, so that we, guilty, could walk free. So Jesus was humiliated so that we could be restored. Jesus was wounded so that we could be healed. And Jesus was mocked so that we could be crowned with grace. So what a powerful gospel and powerful, Savior we have. God bless you. That should encourage you in the beginning of the week. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.